Can you believe our weekend is already over? Oh, I hate that. I can't believe it's already time to go back to work on Monday. No good. Well, let's have a little fun before we get to that point anyway. We've got some breaks on tap tonight for baseball. First up, we will do an autographed Onyx Baseball. That is from the National Edition, which is a different group of signers from our other preferred players baseball that we open as well. And then that will be followed by a half case of 2017 Optic, and then that will be followed by a half case of 2017 Stadium Club. So we got all kinds of fun stuff on tap. But before we do that, we need to take a look at our Lucky U3 Customer Appreciation Break, the list of folks who are in there so far. That break will be this upcoming Saturday, August the 5th at 6 o'clock Eastern. Doesn't cost you anything to be in the break, but the only way to get in it is to win the nightly random. And of course, we're scrolling down through here now to take a look at the winners that are in up to this point. We're going to add one more tonight. And basically what this means to you is if you're drawn out as the nightly random winner, of course, you're part of that break next week. And you know, I change it up. I do different products from time to time. We do the break in different ways, but you will have a chance to win the hits out of that break if you are in it. So that's what we're going to do right now, is qualify one extra person to get in here. And tonight it looks like it is Frankie J 0982. So Frankie J 0982, you are all set and in. You do not have to be there on Saturday when the break is live to participate. However, it is sometimes fun if you're there. I sometimes offer up some extra things to people who are live, you know, on scene. I give you a chance to trade some hits out and things like that, but you definitely don't have to be there. So if you're not live when it happens, no worries, you'll still have a chance to win. So first up tonight, we have a 2017 Onyx National Edition Preferred Players Autographed Baseball. This is break number 2. You guys know that I have the checklist posted on the auction for this, and somebody pointed out to me tonight that I guess there's a couple of teams in there that don't have a player. So I did tell that person we'd get that squared away and taken care of. So that's why there's some that are marked unpaid on here. And also, when I list it the next time, I will probably just list it by player names rather than by teams. And of course, anything else that you see there that says no bids buyback, well, that's fairly self-explanatory. That is just a team that is unsold, unloved, orphan team. Anything comes out for that team or one of those teams, it will stay here with me. So I think I've got this upside down, don't I? Well, maybe not. Well, anyway, let's take the autofocus off of this thing too, because I hate the autofocus on this. It just makes life difficult with the camera always trying to zoom around and do things we don't want it to do. So we have, well, I'm going to have to look and see what team this goes to. I'm going to have to get the checklist out for this. This is Caleb Cowart, C-O-W-A-R-T. Caleb Cowart is going to be our autographed ball. I did print out the checklist, so I've got it here that I can reference. And there is, of course, the signature on it, and there's your little authentication sticker and all that stuff. So let me take a look at, see if I can find Caleb Cowart on here. Although, honestly, I think sometimes they have extra people in here than what's on there, but that says Angels, okay? So, according to the checklist, Caleb Cowart is an Angel. So, Angels, I guess that's headed your way according to the checklist. So we'll get the ball all put back together here, and then we're going to take a look at the spreadsheet for Optic. since Optic comes before Stadium Club tonight. I usually break in the order stuff ends on eBay. We did break the ball out of order because it ended last, but we broke it first because it's, you know, such a quick break as opposed to having those guys wait through, you know, 2 half case breaks. So we did that one a little bit out of order. All right, this is 6 boxes of 2017 Panini Optic Baseball half case break number 3. This is a brand new case we'll be opening up. And of course, you know, same format as before on the spreadsheet. There's our end date, which is tonight, our live stream schedule, team names on the left, winning bidders across from it. Anything that says unpaid means the team was sold, but payment has not come in, at least had not come in as of like 2 minutes before the break started. And that's actually why we were about a minute or 2 late starting tonight, because I had a payment come in like right as I was getting ready to walk out to get all this finalized. And so then I had to update the spreadsheet real quick and made us run a minute or 2 behind, but not too long. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to take out all 12 boxes for Optic, and then we're going to number them on the end, and then random will decide for us which of the boxes that we open up in this half. And of course, whichever ones we don't open up tonight, we will open up in a few days. I think the second half of this is already listed on eBay, but I don't honestly remember what night it ends. But it can't be too far, probably, you know, by Thursday anyway. So let me just get all of these numbered first, and then we're going to buzz across to random and figure out, yeah, man, it's hard to see that number on there. I should have probably gotten a different color marker than this one. It's hard to see that black on there. Well, anyway, we know which ones they are. We know we've got 1 through 6 over here, and then 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 on the opposite side. So let's slide on over to random, which is a black screen at the moment. Sorry. I think that's got us back on track. I kind of messed us up there for a hot second. So let me get back into here. While I'm thinking about it, shipping wise, guys, everything that we are breaking tonight is probably going to ship in the Wednesday to Thursday range. It's possible it could get out the door sooner, and I will try my best to get it out the door sooner, but you know, I would plan on looking for it to ship in the Wednesday to Thursday range. All right, so we're going to be opening boxes 8, 3, 7, 12, 11, and 9. So let me get us back. I wrote that down because, you know, I'm probably not going to remember all that. All right, so we need box 8 and 3, 7. Wow, they're almost all coming off this side. 9, not 10, and yes to 11 and 12. All right, so that half will go later. This half is what we have tonight. And of course, you guys know there are some hot boxes that are possible in the case where we get additional autographs. There's also hot boxes that have the parallels, you know, where you just have more refractors than normal or more numbered inserts than normal, that kind of thing. Todd, okay. Oh, I see Greg has already answered that question. Thank you, Greg, for answering that. I was busy futzing around with that spreadsheet and getting all the boxes sorted out here, and I did not glance over there for a minute, so sorry about that. But I appreciate you taking care of it and answering it. All right, let's get to it, see what we can find. Hoping for a little fire in here tonight. I mean, it's a good checklist, so we definitely have the potential to pull some nice things. Of course, it's hard to have a bad checklist in baseball this year, right? I mean, baseball has got a lot of nice hits this year. And it seems like more coming every day, right? I mean, every time you turn around, somebody's playing well. And the Yankees with Clint Frazier, we'll see how he turns out. But he's looking like he might turn out to be pretty good as well. All right, so these are, of course, just our base cards with the white edges there. The Diamond Kings, is if they have this sort of silver kind of background, are not numbered. If we find one with a different color background, it will be numbered, and we'll flip it over and take a look at it. Like Salvador Perez here is numbered to 199 for the Royals. And of course, you know, there's all kinds of refractors in here too. Our base refractors like this one are not numbered, but again, some of these will have a different color around the edges, and the ones with the different color will be numbered. So the ones that we know are numbered, we'll flip over and take a look at them as we get to them. So it looks like first up here, we are going to have a little Alex Reyes to 125 for the Cardinals. So there is our first hit out tonight for the Cards with the little Alex Reyes. Yeah, Tripper, Optic is a really nice brand. I mean, they do it, I guess they started it actually last year with baseball. And then they carried it into football, which, of course, you know, football last year, I don't know if you do any football breaking or not, but football last year went nuts, of course, after Dak and Zeke were playing so well for the Cowboys. And so it's like impossible to get for football. And then they followed that up with basketball. And the basketball is still available because basketball is kind of a down year this year in terms of the rookie class. So most of it is still available of the basketball products of any type, but it wasn't widely available, at least not at the regular price in basketball. You can still buy it, but marked up. But the baseball was tough to get this year too. I got to tell you, it was. They cut back on the amount that they produced, and they kind of made it a little bit hard to get this year too. So. Kind of crazy. So this should be numbered. This is Dexter Fowler, and it is numbered to 299. You'll see it up there in the upper right. There's a little Aaron Judge. He is not numbered, but still a good sign to see him, I think. Always like to find who we're looking for, even when it's a base card, because you never know. Might lead to something else, we hope. And the rated rookies, for the most part, are not numbered. I flipped that one over really just out of habit, to be honest, as much as anything else. Because, you know, you break different products. And with tops, a lot of times if you have a refractor, it is numbered. Not every time, but often. Sometimes I just get in the habit of doing it a certain way, whether I mean to or not. There's one of our prospects for the Astros. Tapia, rather. I don't know. One of those two. I think he's going to be pretty good. I mean, he's already been playing pretty well, but I think he's going to be pretty good. Pretty good. $2.99 for the Rockies. And looks like we're going to have a signature for, Cody Bellinger. Yay. We are going to have a signature for the Yankees, but it's not the one that they're looking for. We have Greg Bird, Greg Bird on the studio insert autograph. And I know that the Yankees, of course, are looking for Aaron, but so far we found you Greg Bird. Oh, you collect hockey, Tripper. I haven't been breaking any hockey. I have had some people ask me about breaking hockey, but I don't follow it. And so it's hard for me to kind of, I think it would be hard for me to break it because I don't know enough about it. Like, I don't know who are the good players, who are the up-and-coming players. I don't know. I mean, I guess you can break something whether you know anything about it or not, but I certainly think it's helpful if you know about it. At least the way I like to break. I guess a lot of people kind of don't chat that much and just open the cards and go on. I guess I could do it like that, but... Or maybe I just give myself a crash course and learn hockey, right? Actually got one of my friends, her nephew is a hockey fan, lives up in Baltimore, and so she's been talking to me about, let me know when you break some hockey, you know, for my, she's looking to try to get some cards for her nephew. Thinking, I don't even know what's a good product to break in hockey. So, I don't know. May have to try to figure it out. This should be numbered on the Gonzalez, and it is to 149 for the Rockies. That one is numbered. That rated rookie is 250 on the Joe Musgrove for the Astros. Piscotty is numbered to 199. Alex Reyes is numbered to 99. And looks like we're about ready to have our hit, and it is going to be Lewis Brinson for the Brewers, and that is to 15. Wow, nice low number, 8 of 15 on the Lewis Brinson for the Milwaukee Brewers. So that's a nice little hit right there. We like that one. Dansby is not numbered. I think Josh Bell might be and is. That is to 199 on the Josh Bell. Little Alex Bregman. It's hard on the rated rookies because some of them are numbered and some of them are not, and it's hard to kind of figure out which ones are going to be. There's another, well, Pantheon Football is trying to act up here. So let me just do that, keep it from tossing over. Little Aaron Judge insert, not numbered, but still, as I said, you know, we're always happy to see Aaron go through. Chris Sale to 99 for the Red Sox. And that is numbered to 199. That was the Braves, of course. It's an unnumbered. Shipley is to 99. Ronaldo Lopez coming out for Chicago. And you know what? Are we in our... No, this is still only our second auto out of this box, isn't it? I guess, yeah. I was going to say maybe we were in our hot box, but I don't think we are. At least it's too soon to tell if we're going to be. Nunez. Sierra to 99. And Moncada. I'm going to move these guys over to the sorting part of onto the different mat and try to kind of get this guy out of the way because I just didn't want that to fall over and land on our cards, you know. I don't think that would be a good thing. Send our cards tumbling by way of Pantheon Football. If anybody's just jumping in, we do have Stadium Club after we finish Optic. So that is coming up next. And if you missed the announcement earlier, the expected shipping date for everything that we're breaking tonight is in the Wednesday to Thursday time frame. And if I can get it to you sooner, I will. But that's kind of a general guideline of what I'm expecting, is a Wednesday, Thursday type situation. So just trying to keep everybody in the loop there. The Montgomery is to 149. This is probably numbered on the Cespedes, yeah, to 99. And Sano is to 299. Kyle Schwarber to 199. Benintendi not numbered. Don't think, yeah, Kirby Puckett's not going to be numbered either. A little Daniel Murphy to 99. Luke Weaver. Manny Machado to 149. Another Cody Bellinger. Dexter Fowler to 149. Kevin I don't say his name right, Kermayer. Well, you know who he is. He's an up-and-comer. That's to 299. And he's one that everybody's pretty excited about. There's a little Ian Happ. Molina to 149. This has got to be our hot box for parallels, because we've had an unusually high number of numbered inserts in here. This is to 199 on the Hernandez. So I feel like this is probably one of our hot boxes for parallels anyway. Josh Donaldson to 149. Orlando Arcia to 299. And I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing with these cards and move them over into the sorting part of the table. This box marks our halfway point. This is the third box that we're getting ready to jump into of the 6 that we'll be opening tonight. I don't really know why I take the cardboard out of that. I mean, you could see it was empty with the cardboard in or the cardboard out, but I don't know what my deal is tonight. For some reason, I'm taking the cardboard out too. Yeah, it's empty, double empty. I don't know what that was about. Again, I think it's just, you know, a habit you get into sometimes. But I do always like to show that a box is empty, because I just think that you should be able to see that. You guys that have done breaks with me before, and many of you have, which I appreciate. I appreciate everyone, new or otherwise, but those of you who break with me often, you know I like to be very transparent and just kind of show the whole thing as we go along. I don't like there to be any kind of questionable things happening, so that's one of the reasons I like to just show the empty box as we go along. Seems like we're seeing a lot of Alex Reyes, doesn't it? Thought that DeLeon might be numbered, but I was wrong. It is not. Ooh, redemption. We're going to set it down there for a second. I'm going to keep you in suspense. Franco to 199. Another Benintendi. I don't think that's numbered either. Nope. This will be, though, for Mark Trumbo to 299. Tapia, not numbered. All right. Our redemption. Oh, nice one. Nice one. For Mr. Benintendi. Rated rookie signature. Hollow. Okay. We will, of course, checklist verify that. We all know that Benintendi is going to the Red Sox, but I will checklist verify that because that's what I do anytime we pull a redemption. And so we will do that at the end of the break, and it will probably, because this is Panini, it should tell me when I go into that checklist on the Panini website, it should tell us what that's going to be numbered to as well. Unless it's an, well, even if it's an open, unnumbered edition, it'll tell us that too, or it should. So we'll check that one out in a little bit, but that's a nice hit for the Red Sox with the Benintendi auto. So we've got the trade deadline coming up tomorrow afternoon. Be interesting to see who tries to make some last minute moves, because you know there's going to be some, probably something wild and crazy. Usually there is right when we get to the deadline. So that'll be fun to keep an eye on tomorrow. I don't think this Alfaro is going to be numbered. No. That should be, though. And it is to 299. Tyler Glass now on the rookies insert, and that one is numbered to, does that say 99? Yeah, 52 of 99. A little Freddie Galvis just went by there. Oh, you know, it doesn't seem like I see Freddie Galvis all that much. But then again, I know I do tend to tune out the base cards to a certain extent. Oh, this is nice. There's a little Nova for the Pirates, and it's numbered to 25. 17 of 25 for the Pirates. Nice little live-on Nova. That one is actually a sticker auto. It's hard to tell that it is, but it is one. Actually, I prefer when they're kind of hard to tell that they're stickers, you know. I don't like it when they're on there and it's like so obvious that it's a sticker instead of an on-card. So they did a nice job of, with that one, of the way it's placed, I guess, not just kind of screaming out at you like they do sometimes. So this is box 4 of 6 that we're busting into right now. And this is the last case of Optic that I have as well. So we have the break tonight and then the other half of this that ends in a few days. And then we'll be out of Optic. Ditto with Stadium Club. We've got the first half tonight and the second half of that. I don't know if the second half of that's listed yet or not. But if it isn't, it will be. And it will end sometime within the next 7 days. And that will be the last of Stadium Club as well. We do have more Allen and Genter still. So we'll have some of that left. And then, boy, Wednesday, Topps Chrome coming in. So that's going to be a fun one. We got lots of Topps Chrome coming. And on the Topps Chrome, I have both the regular hobby box cases, and then I have some jumbo cases coming as well. So when you're looking at those listings, you know, just make sure to make a note if it says, you know, jumbo or not, because any of the ones that are jumbo will say that, of course. The others won't, but it's going to be a nice product no matter how you cut it. Checklist is already available if you guys are interested in looking at it. It's on the Topps website. You can see all the signatures that are going to be in Topps Chrome. It's a nice looking checklist. But I always look forward to to opening chrome. Whoops, Orlando Arcia trying to stay behind there. He didn't want to go with the rest of that pile. Runed to 199. Bregman, insert. Oh, there's a nice little rookie for the Giants. I don't say his name right either, so we're just going to call him Christian. D. Gordon, numbered to 299 for Miami. Shipley, not numbered. Which I really probably knew that, but, you know, I don't know what gets into me. I still flip them sometimes. Corey Seager is to 199. Of our prospects for the Nationals. There's another Aaron Judge. Refractor, so that's nice. A little Mickey Mantle refractor. Cool. Our signature here is for the Brewers. And it is Lopez, and that one is not numbered. And that's also a sticker auto. I thought maybe that Brian Dozier was numbered, but clearly it was not. I was wrong about that. Another redemption. All right, we're going to set that one down for a second. Move this on down into the sorting area. That's one nice thing about a long table. Oh my gosh, it is another Benintendi. So you guys are, man, the Red Sox are killing it right now. There's your pair so far. One of them is black, so I'm thinking that the one that says black is probably going to be a fairly low number. But again, we will go checklist verify that at the end of the break. But right now, you're rolling right along with two Benintendis. I think everybody's probably feeling pretty jealous right now on that front. I don't know why this chair, I gotta figure out how to make this chair stop squeaking, because it has squeaked since the day I got it, really. But it's quite comfortable. It's perfect for breaking, other than it's so squeaky and loud. Every time you like shift your weight or move in it at all, it does that high-pitched squeak, which is kind of like nails on a chalkboard to me. This is, of course, box 5 of 6, if I did not say that already. Which, let me just check one thing. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we've got 8. Just wanted to make sure that I didn't have, like, I don't think we've hit our hot box yet. And then, I'm like, oh, maybe I better count them. I know, you would think that you wouldn't lose track, but it is really easy to lose track when you're in the midst of doing this. Let's look at this half before we take the rest out. See who we can find. Here is Matt Olson coming out for the A's. There's a nice little hit for the Oakland A's. Pedroia numbered to 10. So that is 10 of 10 on the Dustin Pedroia. Nice. So pretty much right now the Sox are just killing it, right? I mean, they are. They are having a nice little break at the moment. This might be a hot box. Either that or we just happen to hit both the autos really close together. Trey Mancini for those Baltimore Orioles. We'll find out soon enough. If we see a third autograph come out, then we know. Will Myers is to, what does that say? 299, I think that says. Terry, second half of this, you know, honestly, I can't remember what night it ends. I was talking about that earlier, and I can't remember exactly when it ends. I'm thinking that it is already posted, and I know I should know, but some of them I list manually and some of them I schedule to start, and so I'll have it in my head, you know, that I remember doing the listing, but if it's on a scheduled start, it may not have started yet, you know what I mean? I think, though, that it's already listed, and if that's the case, it's probably somewhere in like the Wednesday, Thursday area. But I can tell you how to find it if you go to eBay and you go into search, which I think is like in the upper left-hand corner of, I think, most every eBay page. And then when you get to search, go to advanced search and then click on search by seller. And of course, my user ID is Fleaburger. And if you type in Fleaburger and then say, you know, should give you the option to see all of the items that I have listed right now. And once it does that, then you can type into search, and you can literally search all of the items that I have currently listed and just type in Optic, and it'll pop up if I have it in there. And if I don't already have it in there, it will show up probably either tomorrow or the next day, because it's definitely breaking between now and this time next week. And I think it may already be listed. That's to $2.99. But it's just, you know, often I have 500 or 600 listings with, you know, sometimes, because, you know, usually there's anywhere from 3 to 5 breaks in a day, and each one's going to account for 30 to 32 teams, depending on if it's baseball or football or whatever. So that adds up. And then, you know, I have so many listed, I sometimes just forget. Clayton Kershaw to $2.99. But the back half of this is the last of it that I have. I don't have any more Optic once we break, you know, tonight, and then the back half of this case. And then that'll be it for Optic. I'll be sad to see it go. Oh, your eBay name is Jack Bidding. Okay, cool. Yeah, I remember seeing your user ID, Terry. I don't always connect the user IDs with your guys' real name and that shows up, you know, in chat. So sometimes I have a hard time associating who is who. Occasionally I'm lucky enough to remember what eBay name goes with the real name, but not always. So thank you for sharing that part too. I appreciate it. It does make it easier. Yeah, I actually had more Optic pre-ordered, I might add, but it got cut. Like I had an amount that I had requested, so I would have had 4 cases, I guess, in total, and it got cut back, and they only gave me half. So that's what happened. Oh, okay, so I got you. So you're using, so that's not actually Terry I'm talking to. I'm talking to Lee under Terry's YouTube account. I got you. Okay, I'm catching on. I'm slow, but I'm getting there. I eventually catch up to the train. Next out is Peter O'Brien. You will notice that this is one of the Back to the Future autos, so this one is going to Arizona. So these come out for teams that someone played for in the past, generally. There's a little Addison Russell to $2.99. Ryan Sandberg. It's always nice to see some of our MVP, veteran, retired, whatever you want to call them, players. Another redemption. That is crazy. And if that turns out to be Benintendi too, we're all just going to fall off our chairs. That's the $2.99 on the Hernandez. Yeah, if that turns out to also be Benintendi, that's just going to be crazy. We're going to leave it sitting there right now, though. I am keeping you in suspense. Yeah, I am for sure. You need a Josh Bell auto. Didn't we pull we pulled a Josh Bell. Yeah, didn't we? It was a redemption. We pulled a Josh Bell redemption. Was it out of Optic or was it out of Allen and Ginter? What was it out of? We pulled a Josh Bell really recently. I want to say out of Optic. Because it was a redemption. And I mean, it's been within the last week or so. I guess, was that not you that had it, Lee? I'm guessing not then. Or maybe you just want more than one. I mean, you know, hey, I wouldn't blame you for that. Trying to think, was it, if it was Optic that we pulled that Josh Bell out of, and I think maybe it was. You know, obviously not this case, the other case, but anyway, he's floating around. We've pulled him recently, so he's cycling around anyway. Nelson Cruz, Back to the Future. Does that say? Ah, there for a minute I thought it said 1 of 1. It says 1 of 7. So Nelson Cruz coming out for Milwaukee, 1 of 7 in the Back to the Future autograph. So that is a sticker auto. So that is a nice low number with the 1 of 7 on the Cruz coming out for the Brewers. So that's a sweet little hit right there. Carson Fulmer is to $299. Oh, so Lee, it wasn't you that had it? Daggone it. Well, I don't remember who did have it, and it's already shipped out and gone. If it was the last Optic, all that stuff went out already. But I'm pretty sure it was in Optic. Alfaro coming out for the Phillies. That is an on-card auto. We pulled his game-used batting gloves not too awfully long ago as well, if you guys remember. Out of one of the Onyx Clubhouse Collection breaks. Is this going to be... No, maybe not. All right. I don't know why I keep thinking we've pulled more than we've pulled out of a box. What is wrong with me tonight? Brayton Shipley for the Diamondbacks. I'm going to count them again in a minute. All right, so we have a redemption to flip over. Then we're going to go to the checklist and just verify our 2 Benintendis. We're going to then, we'll recap all this, but I'm counting this real quick. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So yeah, I guess somewhere along the way we would have hit, one of them was our hot box, because otherwise we would have only had 12 autos. Instead, we have 15. So, one of them was our hot box. And it is Orlando Arcia. So, another hit for the Brewers. But now we got to go checklist all this stuff. So, I'm going to put these in sleeves so I can write on them. And we will write down what each of these is going to be numbered to as we go along. Yeah, Greg, see, I told you, I lose track when I'm going through them, and I think, have we only hit 2? Have we hit more than 2? Surely we've hit more than 2 out of here, so that's why I just, you know, I'm telling you, you guys think I'm crazy, but it is hard to keep track when you're doing it versus when you're watching it. you just kind of, you know, you go, or at least I do anyway, just kind of go into a little bit of a zone, and sometimes you lose track. I'm just getting to the Panini website, so give me 1 minute here to get their checklist up. Although, what in the world is that? For some reason, the Panini website's not wanting to come up, and I really don't know why. Come on, Panini, what's your deal here? Huh. Okay. Well, that's fun and entertaining. Panini website is not coming up. I don't know. Maybe I typed it in wrong. Let me try again. Yeah, Panini America. Huh. No, it's given some kind of weird message saying that, I don't know, I don't know. Anyway, it's giving me a weird message, so it's not going to let me in there for some, I don't know what reason. So we're not going to be able to see what these are numbered to, at least not at this moment in time. But of course, we know that the two Benintendi's are both going to the Sox, and we know that Orlando Arcia is a Brewer, so that's where they're going to go. But I wanted to tell you what they were going to be numbered to, but I guess we can't at the moment. So let's recap. Arcia redemption, Benintendi redemption, Benintendi redemption. Shipley for Arizona, Alfaro for Philadelphia, Nelson Cruz for Milwaukee, that one was numbered to 7, Peter O'Brien for Arizona, Trey Mancini, Baltimore, Matt Olson for the A's, Lopez for Milwaukee. Boy, the Brewers have a lot in here, don't they? Ivan Nova for the Pirates, Ronaldo Lopez, Chicago, Lewis Brinson, another Brewer. I didn't realize there were that many. Greg Bird for the Yankees, and Alex Reyes for the Cards. So that wraps up our Optic. Oh, did you just try to go there too, Greg, and it gave you that weird message too? All right, good. So it's not just me, because I'm thinking, gave me some kind of weird message like you have attempted to execute, I don't know what, some big long thing. So that's like, I'm on my iPad. I didn't attempt to execute anything, but... So at least it's not just me. I feel better about that. Anyway. But they probably need to get that fixed, I'm guessing. Would be a good idea. So this is going to roll us into Stadium Club. And this is 8 boxes. It's a big case. I probably should have broken this up into like 4s, but I didn't. So here we are with 8 boxes of 2017 Topps Stadium Club. That is a half case. It is break number 3. And once again, you will see team names on one side, your name across from it as the winning bidder. Anything that says unpaid means the team was sold. Payment had not come in as of like 2 minutes before the break started. As long as payment comes in, you're going to get your cards, no worries. I know it may have come in the interim, but I do not access eBay or email when I'm on the break, so I don't know if it's come in once I come in here and start breaking. So that's why it would still say unpaid on the spreadsheet, even if you have paid in the interim. But again, you're going to get anything that you're due as long as payment's been taken care of, so no worries. Oh, and there were some things on there that said no bids buyback. And what that means is, you know, just nobody bid on that team. So if anything comes out for that team, it would just stay with me since it had no love. And we're going to do the exact same thing that we did with Optic, in that we're going to jump out all of these boxes. We will label them on the end, and then random.org will tell us which ones we open tonight versus which ones will be opened the next half. Oh, Bobby, I see you're offering to buy the Astros. You know, right now I'm not really reselling much stuff in these breaks. And I should, because I got stuck for $400 week before last. People who did not pay. So I'm really trying to evaluate the best way to do that going forward, because I hate to resell it if somebody later comes along, you know, when they're going to pay for it, because stuff happens, you know, people are at work, people are out at dinner, they're doing, you know, whatever. But at the same time, sometimes it costs me quite a bit of money when I end up not getting paid at all. But for right now, for this point in time, I'm not really reselling stuff unless it's like a really high dollar one, or somebody that's got like no feedback at all, or some other kind of warning sign. So for now anyway, I'm not really reselling it. So I appreciate the offer on that, but I am letting the Astros ride and hoping that of course either that payment has already come in or that it is going to come in on that one, and hopefully that will be the case. I don't remember who had that particular team, but a lot of the bidders tonight, I know the people, and you know, they just end up, somebody, oh sorry, I've got some weird message just popped up. Somebody's typed something on YouTube, but in a, like, you know, I think it was one of the spammy messages. I just closed it by accident. But where the people will, not in chat, it popped up on my other computer, where people make comments, you know, on your video, and it's always the people who will be like, oh, I'm sorry to end up in your spam folder, but follow me on Instagram, or, you know, add my music to your video, or whatever crazy thing people say. And I think it was one of those, but I had to close it because I couldn't see what I was doing. All right, so we are going to be opening, and I have definitely got to write this down because I got to remember 8 of these. 2, 3, 10, 14, 15, 6, 12, and 4. Looks like those are our lucky winner chicken dinner numbers out of here. I'm going to mark these off as I pull these boxes out of here so I don't. 2, 3, and 4. Let's get them out of there first. 2, 3, and 4. Now I need 6, which is here. Let's get the rest of these out of the way. And then we need, oops, I got 6. Then we need 10, 12, 14, 15. All right, there's 10, 12, 14, and 15, and that is all about to toss over on me. And let me just make sure that we have 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, we are good to go. We are ready to start rolling. Susan, oh, you missed the spreadsheet, I'm guessing. All right, cool. Well, we will put that back up for you. That is no problem. We haven't started opening anything yet, so no worries. Let's just roll back through it here real quickly. And again, this is 8 boxes of 2017 Topps Stadium Club. It's half case. It's third time we broke in 17 Stadium Club. It is a brand new case, so we did use random to select the boxes that we're opening tonight. The unpaid team, I realize payment may have come in the meantime. If it has, no worries. You're going to get your cards. The no bids buyback teams are unsold, unloved, unwanted teams. Did I forget to change your view with all that? I did, didn't I? As I was sitting there talking about it, scrolling down through it, and I left you on the other view. That was really bright of me. See what happens, you know, I get in a groove, then I do something out of order and it all goes crazy. Anyway, no bids buyback teams, just unsold teams. If anything comes out for one of those teams, stays here with me. And because I'm guessing you probably were not on for the first part of that, also shipping wise, I'm estimating that the stuff that we're breaking tonight is going to go out in the Wednesday, Thursday range. And if I can get it out to you sooner than Wednesday or Thursday, I certainly will. That's kind of what I'm looking at the momento. And hopefully, I think you guys saw, did you guys see my message, Martin and Susan, about the shipping where you guys paid for, I think it was you who sent me a message that you had paid for some stuff before I had combined the invoice, and so I sent you a message back about the best way to take care of that. Did you see that, hopefully? Humphrey Bogarden. That's hilarious. I love that. That's like Humphrey Bogart, but Humphrey Bogarden. I love it. Is that your actual name, or did you just use that as your YouTube name, like in a nod to Humphrey Bogart? Yeah, on shipping, guys, always wait until you get the combined invoice. I do them after the last auction of the night ends. There's a whole big thing on it in the description that talks about combined item shipping and like a whole big bunch of stuff. But basically, I start sending them after the last auction of the night ends. So you always want to wait if you have more than one team for me to send that combined item invoice, because once it's paid and done, you know, you guys, I don't know, you may or may not know this, but eBay and PayPal consider the shipping cost to be part of the sales price or the purchase price for a seller. So we have to pay a percentage of what you pay in shipping as well, is considered just like as part of your bid amount. So we get charged, you know, what between the two of them, it ends up being pretty close to 15%. And then we don't get that back, right? So like, even if I were to go back and refund people for shipping, oh, well, too bad, you know, we still have been charged that, we don't get it back. And so you think, well, oh, you know, that's only a couple dollars. Well, but if you do that couple of dollars times, you know, 5 people a night, times 7 nights a week, times 52, you know, weeks in the year, and the next thing you know, you're out thousands of dollars in weird fees like that, that just where, you know, something had to be refunded because it wasn't, you know, combined shipping. So that is the reason that I don't, and that a lot of sellers honestly don't do refunds on shipping. So it's kind of a long explanation, but that is kind of what happens there. So that's why I always, I mean, I try to make it stand out in the description, but I know it's a long description. There's a lot of stuff to put in there, and so maybe people don't always scroll down there. But please, you know, anytime that you're bidding on multiple teams, I combine for the whole day. So always wait until you see that invoice with the lower dollar amount on it, and then you'll know you're good to go and ready to pay. And sometimes, depending on how many I have in a night, and depending on how fast or slowly eBay is going at any given time, you know, sometimes it takes a while to run through all those. So often you may not see that invoice until you get to 30 minutes before the break, sometimes maybe even 20 minutes before the break. But I will always do one, always, as long as you just, you know, as long as the items are there. And if you've paid ahead of time, I don't have any way to obviously go back and change it, but anything that's unpaid, I will automatically manually combine it after the last auction of the night ends. And while we're on the subject of combined shipping, the app can be crazy. So if you are using the app and it doesn't show you the right shipping amount, go to it through your browser instead, www.ebay.com, from your phone or your tablet, and it'll usually work. The app sometimes doesn't. Jarrell Cotton is our first signature, and that is, of course, for the A's. And this is one of the, you'll notice there are variations. We had one with black writing a while ago. This one has gold writing on it. They're not numbered, but they are just variations on the base, which is, you know, of course, silver writing. So just an FYI, you will see some of those go through, and they will have different colors, but they are still unnumbered. There's another signature, Stephen Wright, for the Red Sox on that one. So Susan and Martin, normally no. Normally I do not. I mean, that's what it says in the listing. Normally I do not go back and I don't refund shipping in any case, because again, for the reasons that I just explained, you know, then I would be out that 15%, which I know you think, oh, it's a couple dollars, but again, all that stuff adds up over time, multiplied by the number of people who do it. So I do not refund it, no. As I said in the message that I sent you, I will apply a partial credit for you on the next break as a, courtesy this time. But as a whole, that is not what happens. I mean, that's why it says, in the description that it is not credited back. It is not refunded back for anybody who doesn't, wait to get a combined invoice. Because all that stuff is, detailed in the listing. But at the same time, I did send you the message earlier. You guys do bid with me often, and said that I would apply a partial credit to your next break. This time as a courtesy. But as a whole and going forward, no, that's not like a normal thing that would happen. Does that make sense? There is another Stephen Matz. Again, this is this is the orange parallel, but they're still not numbered. But obviously, you guys can see the different colors as they go through. But I do usually point out the stuff like that that's a parallel or different in some way or another. I'm just trying to get these kind of going somewhat in the right direction so that we don't have to totally flip back and forth. Well, Humphrey Bogarden, if you will send me a message, I will extend to you the same one-time kind of remedy here that I have offered to Martin and Susan. And that will basically be applied to your next break. Again, it's not going to be a refund. It's not a traditional, like you're getting money handed back to you kind of thing. But I will give you a portion of it back on your next break. If you may have to remind me, okay? I'm going to be really upfront about that. It gets super hectic at the end when everything is ending and I've got questions coming in and trying to get the spreadsheet done and trying to get the invoices combined, and it's always super hectic, and I kind of just get in the zone when I invoice and I just start rolling through it. There is a Jeff Bagwell in the, I think that's in the kind of the chrome parallel. He just headed to the Hall of Fame. So if, in the next break, if I have just autopiloted through and I've given you what would be your normal combined shipping rate, without the one-time little courtesy discount that I'm talking about here to help make up for tonight, you may have to send me a little message to prompt me and remind me, because I will have a list of it there by the computer, but again, it gets hectic. So I would just say don't pay it until you're sure that it's correct, right? So that's what I'm saying. So Humphrey Bogarden, and we're cool with that, and we're good to go. So there's, as you guys can see, there's a lot of base in Stadium Club, obviously. And there are all kinds of those little parallels with different colors. There's not a lot of numbered stuff in here, though. And even there are some case hits, but they, too, are unnumbered. So it's an unusual set in that sense. But, of course, a lot of times the reason at least the reason I like Stadium Club, I think probably the reason a lot of people like Stadium Club is the photography, right? It's not our traditional baseball card kind of photography. So, oh, Humphrey from Beanies. Wow. I used to, when I lived in California, I was into Beanie Babies. I used to go to Beanie Baby shows and sell Beanie Babies. And I had a lady who lived, not in LA proper. She lived on a little island that you had to take a ferry to that was just off the coast. And she had a shop there. And in her shop, she had been selling Beanie Babies for years, before they even became very popular. I just ran across her by accident one day when I was over on the island. And she had all kinds of stuff of the original Beanie Babies, just with the tags off of them, right? She'd cut the tags off, but they were still in really good shape. And my sister collected Beanie Babies at the time, and I remember, was able to find Humphrey. So when you say him, that's what reminds me of it. She had Humphrey, she had the snake, she had, I think she had them all. I think she had all 9 of the original Beanie Babies, but I didn't buy all of them, but I bought a number of them from her. And then later on, as things, got crazy with Beanie Babies, and you couldn't find them anywhere, right? I mean, it was like nuts. They would come in and people are practically, running you down like it's Black Friday to get them. And we're going to hit that redemption in a second. You guys probably saw already it's Shipley, but we're going to take another look at it in a second. But so she would get all these in and just hold them for me. Not like all of them, but she would hold, a certain amount of the new ones that she got in, because I had bought all of those older ones from her. So she is also, a Scooter Jeanette in his red uniform. So that is also where I got Princess Di, and several others came from her. So it's pretty crazy. So our redemption base card autograph of Braden Shipley, and we will, Topps' website should be up, so we will checklist verify that, but Braden Shipley is a Diamondback, I'm 99% sure, but we will verify it, of course. Oh, wow, so it was, you could only bring 5 Beanie Babies across the U.S.-Canadian border. I did not know that. Yeah, I was obviously much younger when Beanie Babies came out and were all crazy like they are now, and I didn't know anything at all about them. I'll be really honest with you, I had no idea. And a friend of mine who lived here in Kentucky called me one day at work and said, "Hey, can you find me whatever it was?" I don't even remember what it was. And I'm like, I don't even know what that is, right? Like, I have absolutely no idea what you're talking about. Roman Quinn autograph for the Phillies. And so she's like, "Oh, it's a Beanie Baby." She literally had to explain it to me. I had absolutely no idea. So I go out looking for this thing, not knowing, of course, that you really couldn't find them. And the first couple stores I'm in, these people are laughing at me like, "Ha ha ha, yeah, you're going to find that." I'm like, what is the deal? So, of course, once I figured it out, then another friend and I were like, "Oh, wait a minute, there might be some opportunity here." So, so we started, it was so funny that you mentioned Canada, because for a while, that's where we got a lot of ours. But we didn't travel up there. We just would, work the phones and call up there, and the places would ship them down to us before, I guess they put restrictions or whatever on it, but... Oh, yeah, it was quite a thing. And Penny Marshall, if you guys, any of you know Penny Marshall from, Laverne and Shirley. Penny Marshall was a big Beanie Baby collector. And one of my good friends is an actress. Actually, a couple of my good friends are actresses. And so I had occasion to run across Penny Marshall one day when I was in the Beanie Baby stuff. And she's like, "Oh, yeah, I heard you're, doing the beanies now." I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "I'm looking for," I think it was all black zip. She's like, "I need 2 complete sets. I got to have 2 complete sets." Okay, well, she wanted one for her LA place and one, there's an Aaron Judge, one for her New York place. And so she's like, she gave me a big list of the ones she needs. And she's like, "I need all black zip." I'm like, this and that and the other. I'm like, "Oh, all right, I might know somebody who has that." So I start hustling up, my friends that I know from the shows, and find her a bunch of her beanies, and end up driving up to her house. She's like paying me in cash like I'm some kind of a, you feel like, you felt like a drug dealer, right? I mean, you pull up with all with his bag full of Beanie Babies into Penny Marshall's house, and she's got, you know, her assistant paying me in cash, and I mean, it all had a very kind of weird feeling to it, but anyway, it was fun back in the day. Oh goodness. All right, so somebody's asking for some Mariners. Now that I got to get off the Beanie Baby topic. We got to get back to business here. So we'll try to find you some Mariners. I don't remember seeing. I'm trying to think when I pulled the Mariners autograph out. I don't think I pulled the Mariners autograph out of Stadium Club. Trying to think what came out of the last case of this. Maybe we did, but I don't really remember it offhand. Museum collection is gone. Tier 1 is gone. Yeah, out of both of those. Museum collection, I only had 2 or 3 cases to begin with, and I knew I wouldn't be able to get any more of that because the price just went through the roof. And Tier 1, I actually had 7 or 8 cases of that, I think, but we did run through the last of it. Maybe it was last week. Within the last week or 10 days, we broke the last of Tier 1 that I had. So right now we have, of course, the back half of Stadium Club, the back half of this case, and then we have some more Allen and Ginter. I do have a little bit more of that. And then, of course, on Wednesday, we have Topps Chrome coming in. So we'll have quite a bit of that to roll through as well. But for the most part, with baseball right now, these are all stuck together. With baseball right now, it's just insane because, you know, you have the pre-sale price, you have what should be the regular retail price, you know, the full regular retail price. But what actually happens pretty much is the day that these come out, they just shoot right on past that. So they go well beyond even the retail price up into the stratosphere for the most part within like hours after the set comes out. So really, if you haven't pre-ordered most of this stuff, it's just almost impossible to get it again at any kind of price that is affordable. You know what? I think, well, this year's Chrome is, I'm guessing, probably going to have the same design as we have in Series 1, Series 2. I expect that it will. That's one of our Chrome parallels in here. If you look on, oh, did I not? I think I have a Topps Chrome listing up right now, Trooper. If you can find that, I will have the sell sheet in there. The like PDF of the sell sheet will be amongst the photos in the break, and it will show you the card design. I want to say, I don't know why these are all sticking together tonight. I want to say that it is probably the same card design. I guess that wasn't stuck together. It just felt like it was. That we had in Series 1 and Series 2. These are really not, the others did not stick together quite as badly as these are. There's a little A.J. Reed, and that one is numbered 250 for the Astros on the A.J. Reed. It's a pretty similar design if it's not the same as. But I'll agree with you, it's not maybe my total favorite design that Topps has ever had for Series 1 and Series 2 and what will be update coming around shortly. But yet that's what they gave us, so there you go. And some of these I really feel like they're definitely sticking together. So if we miss seeing something as a result of it being stuck together, I will certainly find it in sorting. So just be aware of that, because these are having a tendency to be a little difficult to separate tonight. Yeah, I don't know that it's, I don't really think it's the humidity that's making them stick together. I think that it's something about the card design, because we had why can't I spit the name of the card series out? We opened like a bunch of it. My goodness. Archives. In Archives, the regular cards did not stick together, but all of the Derek Jeter inserts, because of the type of material that card was, all of the Jeter inserts would stick to anything that was adjacent to them. And I think that's part of what is happening here. Some of these inserts are just coated in something that is making them want to stick to the cards around them for some reason or another. What about Allen and Ginter is making you mad? I just see that Humphrey has typed there something about Allen and Ginter. Something about Allen and Ginter made him mad. I don't know what. That is Ichiro, and that is, you'll notice that writing is in gold. So this contact sheet gold parallel, I believe that is a case hit. Most of the inserts, the ones that are the gold parallel, will end up being case hits, and they are not numbered. So take that for what it's worth, and there are a handful of them. I think each of our inserts in here have a gold parallel, and I think that the gold parallel for each of them is a case hit in every instance. But anyway, that's what's going on with it. There's a little Matt Strom coming out for the Royals. Oh, the stuff is way too scarce, you're saying, in Allen and Ginter. Well, I mean, it just depends on... I mean, really, it's no different than Gypsy Queen and some of the others. I mean, it was very hard to hit a booklet in Gypsy Queen. It's equally hard to hit a booklet in Allen and Ginter. I mean, a lot of that stuff... And a lot of that stuff, you know, I mean, it's a one of one, right? I mean, those cut signatures are one of one. Gems and Fossils, not all of those are one of one, I don't think, but I expect some of them are. And you're talking about a pretty good size production run, and you're trying to find some rare stuff in there, and yeah, that's going to be it's going to be a tough one to hit. But that's part of what makes, that's the chase, right? I mean, that's part of the reason that they do that. They want us chasing that stuff. And it's part of what drives the value of those cards. So if it were super common, and we pulled it all the time, then it wouldn't have the value that it otherwise has. So it's kind of a double-edged sword, I guess. But I will say in the Allen and Ginter that I have done up to now, there's been a lot of, I shouldn't say a lot, but yet a pretty good amount, more than I might have expected. That's one of the chrome parallels of hits for the non-baseball celebrity stuff, like the other sports people that are in there, sportscasters, people from other sports, the actors and singers that are in there. I mean, we've hit a fair number of relics and autographs for those other categories, more than I thought we would, actually. I mean, I knew we'd hit some, obviously, but we hit more than kind of I thought we would up to this point, anyway. But again, that's just part of what makes Allen and Ginter Allen and Ginter. I mean, it's always been that way. It's never been 100% baseball. It's always had a lot of additional categories, if you will. Additional content, maybe is the better word. But that's just part of what makes that set that set. Oh, so you don't like the Ginter anymore at all? I really do. I like the rip cards. I like the minis. I like the framed relics. I particularly like the framed mini relics. You know, mini anything, like, for whatever reason, I just get a kick out of. So, I mean, I do like Allen and Ginter. I mean, sure, you get a lot of things in there that aren't all baseball. But the prices are usually in line with that as well. You know, you can buy into your team for less money than you would proportionately spend in another product, because there is the allowance for all the extra categories that come out of it. But for me, I like the minis, so it makes me happy. Oh, no rips? Wow, yeah, we had 2 rip cards in our first case. So we had Babe Ruth was one of them. The other one was a Met. The other rip card was a Met. I don't remember if it was Syndergaard or DeGrom, but it was a Met, and it was a pitcher, but I don't remember which one. And of course, the second case, the case that we're in the middle of right now, we've done the first half, we haven't done the back half. We pulled the hot box, so the hot box with the hollow foil parallels went in the first half of the break, but we didn't find any rip cards. So we should still have a rip card, I think, in the back half of that case. Now, somebody told me in that break in chat that he thought it was guaranteed that there were 2 rip cards per case. I didn't remember seeing that it was a guarantee of 2. I remember thinking that there was 1 per case, but he may be right, because we did, you know, I mean, I'm sure if he said it, he knew he was right, but I just didn't remember seeing that in the materials that they sent me originally. I just knew that we were going to get 1. Ryan Healy for the A's. But we definitely did get 2 in the first case, so if in fact we get 2 again, then they're both going to be in the back half. If we only get 1, then it's still going to be in the back half, because we pulled none in the front half. But of course, you know, the rip cards to me are fun. The minis are fun. And I like a lot of times seeing the other content that's in there, the non-baseball content. Some of those series I really like. Another little Aaron Judge. In fact, we had Willie Cauley-Stein, who was a UK basketball player and now plays for the Sacramento Kings. Willie Cauley-Stein was one of the minis in Allen and Ginter. Was it last year or year before last? I've lost track. One of those last 2 years, Willie Cauley-Stein was in there. So I like chasing some of that stuff down sometimes. There's Ryan Schimpf for the Padres. Oh, Beltre is what, 1 hit away from the 3,000 club, or did he get it today? Maybe he got it. He may be in the 3,000 club by now. I don't know. I didn't get to watch the games today. I've been busy trying to get my house straightened up. Your Walmart has a guy who takes in a scale and a magnet searching the Ginter stuff, and they let him do that? Like Walmart just says, sure, guy, bring in a scale and a magnet and see what you can find. That is crap, man. That is so not cool. That's just messed up. I don't know. I mean, that is at least one thing about breaks, is you know the stuff's not searched or whatever, because you watch it being opened live and it's out of boxes, not individual packs. And I mean, like, I know the guy that owns the hobby store, he tries really hard to keep people from searching the packs, but you know, he sells stuff obviously sealed up by the box and by the case, but he also sells stuff by the pack. So he's got lots of product all over the store opened up the way he's got it set up. It's not like behind the counter, it's all out, you know, on countertops all the way around his store. And I am sure that people go in there and, you know, feel up and search those packs when he's busy and try to pull just the hits out of there. And, you know, he does his best to keep them from doing it. But if somebody's determined to do it, then there's not much you can do to stop them, really. Which is one reason that I like when they put in the, you know, the dummy cards or the brick cards or whatever you want to call them. But the ones that make you think you're getting a hit when you don't. Yeah, we have a hobby store here. It is called Baseball Card Warehouse. It's been here for, oh gosh, about 20 years, I guess. Same guy's owned it the whole time. He's a really nice guy. He was, I believe, maybe the first, he might be the first baseball card store in Lexington. He's definitely the last. He is the only one that's around right now. But he's a very nice guy, and I do get some stuff from him as well. Tim Cooney for the Cleveland Indians. You guys are talking about going to the Big Boy on Man of War Boulevard. That's hilarious. I don't even know if there is still a Big Boy on Man of War Boulevard. I don't remember seeing one anytime recently. But the Baseball Card Warehouse is off of, since you guys kind of know the area a little bit, it is off of Clays Mill Road. And it's past the school headed towards Man of War. And there's that little kind of shopping center plaza thing. There's a Burger King, and there's like a First Stop Auto and a whole bunch of other stuff. Anyway, he's in that little plaza, kind of not exactly across. His store is not directly across from Burger King, but the Burger King is directly across from the part of the plaza he is in, if that made sense. But his name's Larry. He's closed on Sundays and Mondays, so you'll never find him on Sunday or Monday. But otherwise, he's usually there. He also runs that card show, though, that they have at the Armory. So occasionally, you know, he'll be closed on a Saturday or something to do the card show, but most of the time he's there. Oh, I didn't even know there was a Big Boy by Steak and Shake, so shows you I don't pay attention always to my surroundings especially out in Hamburg. Seems like there's something new out there every other day. But yeah, you should definitely stop in and see Larry the next time you're around. He's a good guy. And he used to have some older stuff in there too. In fact, I was buying it. I was buying a lot of 2013 Bowman, and I was buying 2015 Bowman. And Bowman Chrome, I should say, to be specific. And I was just buying little bits at a time. I was doing some breaks with some, and then some I was opening myself. And then all of a sudden, of course, Aaron Judge heated up, and And then, of course, here came Bellinger, you know, as well, who was in the 15 set. And the next thing you know, somebody has come in and bought, and he had quite a bit of it. Somebody had come in and bought every bit of it from like one time I was there to the next time I went back to buy some more. Whoop, wiped out, all gone. So a lot of his older stuff has been sold recently, but he did have a ton for a while. And he's still got some older football, just not much more in the way of baseball. And he's got some older basketball, too. He's pretty nice guy, pretty laid back. There's a Piscotti in the chrome. And he also has a lot of just individual cards, if you're ever looking for any of those. He carries a lot of those in a like a showcase type thing in there, too. For the Rockies, you guys know I can't say his name. Galarraga. Yeah, that's what we're going with. For the Rockies. All right, this is 6 of 8 that we are busting into right now. Yeah, I don't even know. I'm trying to think if I guess there's like, I'm sure there's a card shop somewhere in Louisville or somewhere up in northern Kentucky, but I don't even know where they are. The only one that I know in the state is Larry's, although again, I'm sure there are more. But they've kind of, you know, it's harder and harder to be able to find them. We used to have a number of them here in Lexington. One time we probably had 3 or 4 of them. In various parts of town, and just the one now. I can't think where the Half Price Books is. Is that on Nicholasville Road? I can't think. If that's the one, there is a bookstore there that sells like used books and stuff, but I don't remember if it's called Half Price Books or not. But if it's the one on Nicholasville Road, yes, it's not far at all. You're probably like 5 or 6 miles from it. If it's out in Hamburg, closer to like the Steak and Shake and the Big Boy and stuff like that you're talking about, out on Man of War Boulevard out by the interstate, then you're a little bit farther away. And at that point, you know, probably take you with traffic and whatnot, half hour or so to get to his place. So I just don't remember which bookstore Half Price Books is, if it's the one on Nicholasville Road or the one out in Hamburg. Scoreless Streak. This one is also, I believe, the gold parallel. You can kind of see the gold design around that. I think the others are silver. So again, I think this is going to be our case hit. They're not numbered, but they are still case hits according to the sales literature anyway. Oh, we have 2 half-price books, somebody says. All right, well, I didn't know that. I don't know which one then. I don't know which one you're looking at. But he's closer to Fayette Mall and Nicholasville Road than he is to Man of War and Hamburg, if that helps you any. Aaron Nola for the Phillies. Yeah, I've thought about talking to him about maybe trying to do some breaks there in the store even at some point along the way, because I think it might be fun to do some, well, I just turned that one upside down, to do some there at the store. So I don't know, I haven't talked to him about it yet, but I've been kind of turning it over in my mind, figuring out how it might work. But I think it could be fun for his customers too, obviously. They might enjoy it. We gotta have a little, I'm gonna stack our hits right there. Oh yeah, Marty, do you and Susan have the Phillies tonight? If so, that was, of course, your Aaron Nola that just went cruising through. For the life of me, I don't know why the cards have to go in 100 different directions in the same pack, but they always do that. But it is super annoying. Johnny Bench. You guys know I love my Johnny Bench. Johnny Bench and Hank Aaron. Oh yeah, you did have Roman Quinn earlier. That's right. Was another hit in there. There's a little Bregman in the chrome parallel, and then of course the black print as well. I don't know why they could. Why wouldn't they just number those if they're going to go to the trouble of making the print a different color? You'd think maybe you could just number it too, but no, they don't. Trey Mancini for the Orioles. We pulled Mr. Trey Mancini out of Optic earlier too, so it's a Trey Mancini kind of night. My cat's getting ready to dive into the wrappers, but I can't decide if he's going to be going crazy and making lots of noise or if he's just kind of considering it. So if all of a sudden you hear something that sounds like a gigantic crash, it's my kitty playing in the wrappers, like, you know, like you would see a dog playing in a pile of leaves. Kitty likes getting in the wrappers because they're noisy. Especially when there's a big pile of them like tonight, because there's a lot of wrappers down there right now. The Mariners. Hey, listen, we've still got a ways to go, right? We've still got our hits out of this box and one more box to open. So there's still hope that we're going to pull some Mariners for you, man. Don't give up. Don't give up, Humphrey. We're trying. Maybe we are going to get lucky and find you one. Right now we have a little Seth Lugo for the Mets. Whoops. I know I left Elvis Andreas upside down. I know I did. Those are stuck together. Let's try to do a little separation. This beam team may actually be numbered. Yeah, it is to 99, 23 of 99 on the beam team. That is one of the few inserts that the different color is numbered, even though still yet, of course, the gold one, when we find it, won't be numbered, but the black one oddly is, and an orange one, should we find it, would also be numbered. So it's kind of weird what they decide to number and not number in this set. Yeah, to your point, the Mets do often get hits, it seems. I'm not going to disagree with you on that. The Mets show up a lot. Not necessarily in Stadium Club in particular, but just in general. In 2017 products, there's a lot of Mets. It seems particularly in Tier 1. Like there was a crazy number of Mets in Tier 1, right? Oh, Bobby's World. That's mean, man. That is crazy. Yeah, I'll tell you another set of, I see that you're saying your 94 leaf cards, your packs are kind of get stuck together. I'll tell you what is really bad for being stuck. Upper Deck, man. If you ever open any of the like Upper Deck football, like Rookie Threads or Upper Deck Premier, any of that stuff, I opened some of it from 2007 mainly because I'm on this quest to pull an Adrian Peterson, you know, autograph rookie. So anyway, a lot of that Upper Deck football stuff is like crazy stuck together. Not even stuck like this, which is a little bit stuck, but like you practically need a jackhammer to get it separated. And I don't, you know, it's weird how some sets will have that and others do not. I mean, you can open up tops from 2007 and you don't have stuff stuck together like cement. Michael Fulmer for the Tigers, and this is a case hit with the Instavision. It's a nice little Fulmer. I like the Instavision cards anyway. I think they're pretty cool cards. I guess that makes sense, yeah, that it's the foil that's sticking to the gloss. That would make sense with this. It doesn't make sense, though, for why it would do it for the Upper Deck. But it does, I guess that would, but, you know, I would think it would do it for all the cards, because all the cards have foil on them. But as you see, some of them stick together, and some of them don't. It's just weird. But that it does make sense. I mean, certainly I never came up with any explanation, so I accept that. Sandy Koufax for the Dodgers. That's in one of the chrome, or what they're calling chrome, parallels in this set. There's a little Corey Seager. May as well just flip them both. Looks like we're going to have a redemption, and it is Matt Olson, which I believe, isn't Matt you know, at the end of the break, and we'll we'll verify all those fun redemptions because I don't expect that their website will give us trouble like Panini's did earlier. So you guys agree with me that it is the A's. Okay, that's what I think too. But, you know, I still end up going to the checklist. That's just what I do. Oh, Tripper, you had some Fleer Ultra Hockey that stuck together like that too. Gosh, I haven't seen any Fleer in a while. Daniel, I will, of course, we'll recap Stadium Club at the end here. And then if you hang out, after I, verify the redemptions and do the recap of Stadium Club, I will see where I think I still have the hits for Optic out where I can grab them and recap them for you. I mean, I've kind of got a big stack of stuff over here on the sorting mat, and I've got a bunch of Optic, of course, stacked over there, half case worth. But I think that the hits are like on top of a stack, not necessarily in the middle, so I should be able to recap it for you. So just hang tight, my friend. After I finish this and recap this, then I'll grab that for you. How's your hand, by the way? How's your finger? Is it any better? I mean, I know it's not better because it's like, I know it's gone, but I'm saying, is the pain any better? Is it feeling any better? It's what I'm trying to get to. I hope that it is. I think about that fairly often, actually. I cannot even imagine how much that hurts. That is just... I hope that they are taking good care of you and compensating you well for that. Not that that makes up for it, but anyway, that was one of the chromes. Oh, it's fun to go back and open some of the old wax. For sure it is. I mean, I buy boxes of that often and open various stuff myself. And I also send out stuff like that sometimes. I add little things here and there to packages from time to time. People, here and there along the way. So you never know when you get a package from me. Sometimes you might have some old wax packs in there. You might find something good. Oh, it's still killing you, man? I am sorry to hear that. I know they told you it could be a long time, like before it completely stops hurting, but I was hoping that it was at least feeling a little bit better. Maybe they need to switch up your medicine or something. I think I'd make that case if I were you. Try to get them to anyway. You tried to chew the gum out of some 89 Topps baseball? I could have guessed that was kind of a bad idea, man. This is the Chipper Jones and the chrome, what they're calling the chrome variation in Stadium Club. This one is, of course, the gold one, which again is a case hit, but unnumbered like our other gold parallel case hits. I'm surprised you didn't, like, chip a tooth on that gum. I mean, That's good. That's probably like cement, wasn't it? That's just crazy. Oh. Yeah, that description does not sound good of how that gum came out of there. I'm not, yeah, I wouldn't be trying anything like that myself. But thank you for the warning in case I was considering it. There's Diaz for the Cardinals. I know I left those upside down. But we've seen them go through there already before, so I figure it's not going to be like the end of the world if I left them upside down in the last part of it here. Another Judge. Another Jarrell Cotton. Good gracious. All right, A's are like rolling and rolling, aren't they? It's like the Ike and Tina Turner song, Rolling on the River. The A's are rolling. All right, so we're going to do a couple of things here. The first of which is I'm going to count these and make sure that we have all of our hits and that none of them are stuck behind some weird base card somewhere. So hang on. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Hooray! Okay, that's always the good news. Nothing is stuck somewhere. Now we're going to go to the checklist and verify Matt Olson and Braden Shipley, which again I believe are going to be A's and Diamondbacks, but because that is what we do, that's what I'm going to do. Give me 1 second here. I am trying to figure out what did I do with my stupid marker. There it is. All right, so give me one memento while I roll over here into the Topps website and get the checklist up and running to take a look at this. And these are both just base card autographs. All right. And are they going to be cow? Good. Yay, they are in alphabetical order. All right, so yes, Braden Shipley is a Diamondback, as we suspected, and Mr. Matt Olson is, in fact, an A, as we suspected. So we're going to go ahead and label those. This is in a sleeve, so it's the sleeve that I'm writing on. All right, so first let's recap. We'll set those aside for a minute. We'll recap these. So the Chipper Jones, that is a case hit. This is a case hit on the Michael Fulmer for the Tigers. Clayton Kershaw is not a case hit, but he is numbered to 99. The scoreless streak is a case hit on the Marcus Stroman, and I don't really know why I have the Aaron Judges setting there. And then the Ichiro on the contact sheet in the gold version is also a case hit. I think there are still some more case hits to be found in the second half, though, because I don't think we found all of our inserts in gold yet. Beam Team we didn't, and there may be another one or two. Then our autographs, of course, we have the redemption, Matt Olson for the A's, the redemption for Braden Shipley for the Diamondbacks. And then, oops, I'm sorry, I lost my my chat there. Oh, Fulmer and Ichiro were going to Florence, y'all. That's funny. Trooper. I was reading that for those of you who are watching this later. I didn't say Florence, y'all, just to be saying, and he wrote it that way. Jarrell Cotton for the A's, and that one is numbered to 25. It's 21 of 25. You can kind of see it down there in the grass. And I don't think I saw it the first time I had it out, so good thing we looked again. There's Diaz for the Cardinals. Seth Lugo for the Mets. Trey Mancini, Orioles. Aaron Nola for the Phillies. the guy whose name I cannot say for the Rockies. Tim Cooney, Indians. Ryan Schimpf for the Padres. Ryan Healy, another hit for the A's. Matt Strom for the Royals. Mr. A.J. Reed, numbered 250 for the Astros. And again, the numbering's like right there above the word Tops. Roman Quinn, another hit for the Phillies. Stephen Wright for the Red Sox. And another Jarrell Cotton, this one is not numbered, for the A's. So that wraps up Stadium Club. I am going to recap Optic for Daniel here in a second. But in the meantime, guys, thank you, everybody. I appreciate, as you know, very much you bidding with me, chatting with me, breaking with me. You know, I appreciate all that very much. I love breaking cards. It's a lot of fun for me. I enjoy everything about it. So you guys bidding makes it all possible, and I thank you very much. I hope I'll see you again. Always have a lot of new stuff listed, and new stuff comes out almost every week too. So there's always a new something or another rolling along down the track. So I hope that I will see you again. In the meantime, let's recap the Optic break for Daniel. And this, of course, again, for anybody who's watching this later, these cards are not part of Stadium Club that we just broke. This is from a whole other break for Optic that we broke earlier. So if you are watching this in recap, your cards for Stadium Club have already been recapped. This is something else. And it is Reyes for the Cardinals to 125. And of course, Daniel, there were tons of like numbered parallels and stuff like that. I'm not, those I'm not recapping, but just the signatures is what we're going through right now. Greg Bird for the Yankees. Lewis Brinson, numbered to, what does that say? 15, numbered to 15 for the Brewers. Ronaldo Lopez, not numbered. Ivan Nova, Pirates, numbered to 25. Lopez, another hit out for the Brewers, not numbered. Matt Olson for the A's, not numbered. Oh, gosh. Well, that's what happens there. I got to be careful with that. And it looks like we're okay there with Matt Olson. I'm just giving you another look at him because you saw he just slipped right out of my hand there. But everything does seem to be okay. I don't see any issues with him, and thank goodness. It's one of the reasons we break with Matt, but still. Trey Mancini for the Orioles. Oh, and there went Trey Mancini. Okay, clearly going through this a second time is not my friend tonight because we didn't have any of these problems the first time around. Let's try this again. Peter O'Brien for Arizona on the Back to the Future. Nelson Cruz for the Brewers to 7. That is number 1 of 7. Alfaro for the Phillies. Shipley for the D-backs. Benintendi Redemption number 1. Benintendi Redemption number 2. And then Orlando Arcia, also for the Brewers. And that is the recap of Optic, Daniel. And I know it's not all the inserts and all that, but man, I don't know where those are stacked right at this minute. So it's not the numbered inserts, but it was the autographs. I figured that's the part you want to see the most anyway, right? So, all right, guys, I am signing off for tonight. It is midnight, so it's time for me to get off of here and start sorting some cards so we can work on getting things out the door to you. Thanks again, everybody. I hope you have a great week up ahead. I hope to see you again soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.